Hi, my name is Sean Mars and I'm an applications engineer with Hawkridge Systems, and today we're going to talk about fixing incorrectly sized toolbox hardware components. Have you ever opened an assembly and found that your toolbox components were not the correct size, possibly much too large or too small? So why is this happening, and more importantly, how can it be fixed? The toolbox works through a database that governs what sizes are available for each piece of hardware. Right here you can see that I have the hex bolt open, and you can also see that there are 8,094 possible configurations. Those are possible configurations. If I actually go and look at the part file, you'll see that there is only one configuration actually inside this file. This is because the toolbox only generates sizes when they've been used in assemblies. This generally happens when you insert a specific size into an assembly, but should also happen when you open an assembly that uses toolbox components that you have not yet used. Today we're going to talk about a couple methods that you can utilize if these are not behaving correctly. But if this is a recurrent problem for you, then contacting your support team is the best solution. If you just need a quick fix or just a little more understanding on the issue, then the first approach would be to make sure that your toolbox is synced with any other coworker that you might be working with. The SOLIDWORKS Toolbox is found in a data folder on your C drive. So if you go over to the drive that SOLIDWORKS was installed on, then you'll see these SOLIDWORKS data folders, one for any version of SOLIDWORKS that you might have. What you're going to want to do is make sure that this SOLIDWORKS data folder is located on a network drive that you can share with your coworkers. Once you have moved the folder to that location, ensure that your system options are also pointing to the correct location under the Whole Wizard Toolbox tab. The next method would be to just generate the new sizes that you need when you need them. So if you did open up an assembly and it had the incorrectly sized toolbox components, then just right click on any of these components, go to Edit Toolbox Components, and select the correct size. At this point, that size has now been generated in the file and can be used in the future. So what you're going to want to do is close your assembly without saving and reopen it so that SOLIDWORKS can grab the correct sizes. If you are sending or receiving assemblies, the best approach is to use the Pack and Go. Pack and Go also has an option for including toolbox components if the person you're sending this assembly to does not have the toolbox or you've been having issues with the correct sizing. Remember, when you open up the assembly, you do need to have the toolbox added turned on. You will also want to make sure that in your system options, under Whole Wizard Toolbox, the checkbox for Make this folder the default search location for toolbox components is unchecked. That will allow SOLIDWORKS to use the toolbox components that are in the Pack and Go folder. Another approach would be to generate all possible sizes for specific pieces of hardware. This would be done through the toolbox database, which can be found through the Configure button right here, and then under Customize your hardware. Go to any specific size, and then you can choose to create all of the available configurations. Remember that for many hardware components, there are thousands of possible configurations, and this is either going to result in one very large file size, or if you've chosen to create all your toolbox components as separate parts, thousands of separate part files. This is a very drastic approach and would need to be weighed against file storage limits or possible large file sizes. However, it should be noted that the number of configurations of a toolbox component can be limited by deleting sizes, lengths, and thread data, thus limiting the number of configurations that would need to be created. In today's video, we went over many different approaches for fixing incorrectly sized toolbox hardware components. Hopefully one of these methods will work for you and you can spend less time worrying about your hardware and more time working on your assemblies. Remember, if you're seeing this behavior consistently, contact your technical support team. Thanks for watching.